Bought and sold. A retirement exit in Colorado and a fresh start in Florida. One seller was ready to walk away from 20 years of hard work. Another was ready to stop commuting between two lives and commit to one. Two very different motivations and two very different buyers who recognized exactly what each opportunity had to offer. At We Sell Restaurants, every closed transaction reflects something larger than a sale. It reflects the work of understanding what a seller needs, what a buyer is looking for, and how to connect the two in a way that holds together all the way to closing day. The following two deals, one in the Colorado foothills and one on Florida's Gulf Coast, show what that looks like in practice. Deal 1. A 20-year legacy finds its next chapter in Morrison, Colorado. By Steve and Cyndi Weinbaum. We Sell Restaurants, WSR CO. Corporate Morrison sits just west of Denver, a small mountain town known for Red Rocks Amphitheater and the kind of tight-knit community that builds real loyalty around its local businesses. A restaurant that has operated successfully here for 2 decades is not the product of circumstance. It is the product of an operator who understood the market and executed consistently. Butch's story is one of the restaurant industry's most compelling ownership arcs. He began as the manager, learned the operation from the inside out, and eventually purchased the restaurant himself. For 20 years after that, he owned and operated it, building the kind of customer base and financial performance that made this listing stand out the moment it came to market. Strong sales, high earnings demonstrated longevity and real potential to grow further. In a market where buyers are frequently asked to take a leap of faith, this was a transaction backed by evidence. After 2 decades, retirement was not just deserved, it was earned. This was not a distressed exit. It was a seasoned professional making a deliberate decision to step back from a business at the height of its performance and trusting We Sell Restaurants to find someone capable of carrying it forward. Steve and Cyndi Weinbaum identified a buyer whose background aligned directly with what the opportunity demanded. The new owner brings experience in supply chain and the food industry, the kind of operational knowledge that translates into restaurant management in concrete ways. Understanding cost structures, sourcing efficiency, and the systems that keep a kitchen running profitably. While this is his first restaurant, he is not entering ownership without a foundation. He is stepping into a business with 20 years of proven performance behind it. Huntington Bank supported the financing, a reflection of the strength and credibility of the transaction. For a first-time restaurant owner inheriting a business with this kind of track record, the path to confident operation is significantly shorter than starting from scratch. Deal 2. Asset sale in Venice, Florida. Connects a motivated seller with 2 brothers ready to relocate. By Michael and Abby Spizzirri. We Sell Restaurants, FL Sarasota. Tampa East and West Venice sits along Florida's Gulf Coast with a growing population of transplants who have traded northern winters for year-round sunshine and who bring their spending habits with them. When this restaurant came to market as an asset sale, it offered something that a specific type of buyer actively seeks: a fully equipped, operational space with no brand attached and no concept to inherit. Just the infrastructure, the build-out, and the freedom to build something of their own. Asset sales attract operators with a clear vision and the conviction to execute it. Finding that buyer is the work. The seller was a seasoned, multi-location operator with years of industry experience. His decision to sell had nothing to do with the performance of the business. It had everything to do with geography. His other location sits close to home. The Venice restaurant did not. Managing a restaurant from a distance creates inefficiencies that compound over time. And for an experienced operator who understood his own bandwidth, consolidating was the right call. He was not walking away from the industry. He was making a smart business decision and choosing We Sell Restaurants to execute it. Michael and Abby Spizzirri went to work finding a buyer whose profile fit the opportunity. They found exactly that in a new owner who had spent years dividing his time between Florida and the Northeast, long enough to know the back and forth was finished and it was time to commit. He and his brother are relocating to Florida full-time and bringing a Philadelphia-inspired concept with them. The kind of regional comfort food that resonates deeply with the large northern transplant community already living along the Gulf Coast. The asset sale structure gave them everything they needed to move forward with confidence. A functional space ready to operate, the freedom to introduce their own brand, and a market that was already receptive to exactly what they planned to bring. What these two deals tell us about the market: these two transactions look different on the surface. One was a long-tenured owner exiting on his own terms after building something over 20 years. The other was a distance-driven consolidation by an active operator ready to focus his energy closer to home. Different geographies, different deal structures, different buyer profiles. But the principles that made both deals work are the same. Seller motivation shapes everything. A seller who knows exactly why they are selling and is committed to the outcome creates the conditions for a deal that moves efficiently. Ambivalence stalls transactions. Clarity accelerates them. The right buyer is not always the most obvious one. The Morrison buyer had never owned a restaurant. The Venice buyers were relocating from another part of the country with a concept that had not yet launched in the market. In both cases, finding the right match required brokers who looked beyond the standard buyer profile and identified who was actually positioned to succeed with that specific opportunity. Foundations matter more than most first-time buyers realize. Stepping into a business with an established customer base, proven financials, and operational infrastructure already in place dramatically changes the experience of early ownership. Both buyers in these transactions inherited a head start that most new operators never get. We Sell the Restaurants does this work every day, in every market, across every deal type. The details change. The commitment to finding the right match does not. Listing number 18397 was represented by Steve and Cyndi Weinbaum. We Sell Restaurants. WSR CO Corporate Territory. Listing number 33024 was represented by Michael and Abby Spizzirri. We Sell Restaurants. FL Sarasota Tampa East and West Territory. Ready to explore your options? Contact a certified restaurant broker at We Sell Restaurants today for a confidential conversation about the value of your restaurant and what a sale could look like for you.